Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So, is Bitcoin heading to $200,000? Well, a major signal was detected. So let's talk about it. And let's talk about what's going on with markets today. And what's going on with XRP. All right, let's talk about all these things and more. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The market bell has just rung. Today's looking a little bit greener than yesterday. So that overall, that's a good start, I guess. A good start. Yesterday we had a horrible day, right? And we had our speaker get kicked out first in history. And then I just saw this breaking news. Biden just cancels $9 billion in student debt for 125,000 borrowers. I ever since this was brought up, I still don't get the rationale for this. Okay. A lot of people go to college, go to higher education, right? A lot of people have debt. But, you know, those people chose to go to school, right? Now you have just forgiveness for 125. I don't know how they were chosen, how much was forgiven for each, right? It doesn't seem a whole lot fair to the people that actually worked and paid off their debt. And not only that, you know this can't help inflation because now that's $9 billion more that people can spend. But that's exactly what Powell does not want. Fed Chair Powell does not want people to spend. He wants people to stop spending so that inflation could come down. But now you got $9 billion more. And on top of that, where's this money coming from? So does that mean we have to print $9 billion more to pay, you know, the lenders? Probably. But I guess because we're accruing $1 trillion worth of debt per month now, $9 billion is a drop in a bucket. According to Biden or anyone else, they're like, yeah, well, who cares? $9 billion is $9 billion. That's nothing compared to the $1 trillion that we're borrowing right now per month. I guess if you look at it that way, this is really nothing, right? But you know, this is what I've been saying about, you know, one hand, like you got the right hand and the left hand fighting, and they're not talking, and they're going against each other because you got one hand, which is the federal government or the U.S. government that keeps on printing more money and accruing more debt, and on the other hand, you know, you have the central bank trying to curb inflation due to all the overprinting and spending. You know, it's like it's never going to get fixed this way, never. And this is part of the reason why the speaker got kicked out, right? Because there was no hard line placed on spending. Anyways, that's just breaking news. I thought I'd just give my 2 cents about that. What else happened today? Private payroll rose 89,000, which is really bad because it was supposed to be 180,000. So that's less. That's like half, basically. That's less than half. So what does this mean? This means that companies are not hiring as much as before. Okay, that's what it means. So overall, we got to watch out a little bit. Okay, well, Powell has to watch out for a little bit because, you know, he's had the luxury of being able to raise rates so much and so fast without triggering more unemployment, right? Unemployment is still low. It's like a 50-year low. So, but if that changes, if jobs starts disappearing and unemployment starts going up, right, then obviously the very high Fed fund rate needs to be cut, right? And if that happens and inflation is still high, well, then what is he going to do? He can't keep raising rates when America has no more jobs and unemployment starts skyrocketing, right? So he had the luxury of being able to do that because we were in a very unique situation where the government printed $6 trillion and gave it out. But, you know, if that changes, he's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I don't know what he's going to do then, right? But this is starting to show that we're heading in that direction. This is less than half the jobs anticipated, right, for the month of August. Well, what about September and October, November, and December, right? Are we going to see this number go down more? And I can't wait to see unemployment numbers. Does that show, you know, the number going up? I don't know at this point. I don't know. But these are concerning things to start off the day, right? Also, the U.S. market is now in extreme fear level. You know, with crypto, we have a fear and greed index, but there's one for stocks that not a lot of people pay attention to. I saw this with yesterday's crash. Officially, we are in the extreme fear level for U.S. market, which also is not good, right? Of course, it's not good. Ever since June of this year, June or July, things have started coming down. DXY is skyrocketing. And you have all this overprinting issues. And then, you know, you had a government shutdown thing that we avoided. But still, that means we just have more overspending. It's just a nonstop FUD train right now, right? Nonstop. But the good thing is, you know what's getting stronger? With all this happening, what's getting stronger? Yeah, I think you guys know. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is getting stronger, okay? And people know this. Economists know this. Bankers know this. Long-term holders know this, okay? We all know Bitcoin was created for this very purpose. To allow people to opt out what's happening around the world right now and in the U.S. Irresponsible spending and monetary easing and tightening and everything else that's going on. You can't trust the banks, the central banks, the people in charge of money, because it's a house of cards that will collapse someday. That's why Satoshi created Bitcoin. And that's why so many people are turning to it right now. And this guy is saying a 6x to 200,000 is on the table. And here's why. This is actually a correlation, okay, between the S&P 500, SPX, and Bitcoin, okay? And then this person put the two together, and right now, what is signaling is a massive upward movement. That is what is signaling right now, okay? There's risk on, risk off. Right now, bullish signal intact, risk on, which means it's good to be a little bit more greedy, okay? More greedy than fearful right now. And I agree with that because we know there's so many things that are happening right now. Despite the horrible macro stuff, right? The things that relate to Bitcoin only get stronger. The fundamentals keep getting stronger. And then, of course, we got less than 6 months to wait for the halving event. That is huge. Every single cycle. That's the one event that we look forward to. The halving event, less than 6 months away. Spot Bitcoin ETFs right around the corner, right? And plus, more and more people are turning to Bitcoin because of shenanigans of governments and fiat. Fiats around the world. Devaluing right in front of people's eyes. Inflation is real, right? Right now, people don't know what to do. Buy gold? Unfortunately, gold is going down too. Gold is going down. Like, what can you buy, right? You buy Bitcoin because it's the strongest asset that we have, the best hedge against inflation, and the greatest store of value that humans have ever created. And that's not going to change. And the thing is, look at how small Bitcoin still is, though, right? You look at the market cap of jewelry. I don't know how they figured that out, but about 6 trillion. You got other, which I don't know what it means. Central bank has 2.2 trillion, although that is fake because central banks can print as much as they want. So that should be an infinite line upwards. Then you got bars and coins, and then gold ETFs. Total gold, about 13 trillion. And look at where Bitcoin is. Only 500 billion, right? That's the beauty. This is why it's time to be greedy. Because right now, Bitcoin is still a small asset. But when Bitcoin in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years is bigger than the market cap of gold, that's when Bitcoin will be at 700, 800, $1 million, $1.5 million, right? Then it's going to get very, very expensive to buy Bitcoin. But here's the thing, even when Bitcoin hits $1 million, I argue it still has an unlimited upside. You know why? Because there's a set supply for Bitcoin. There's no set supply for gold. There will be infinite gold that we can always dig up and find in space. But Bitcoin, we know for sure with 100% certainty that there is a set limit. And we're never going to break through that. There's no other asset on the planet where you can say with 100% certainty there will be no more. Not with oil, not with gold, not with copper or silver, not with anything. But Bitcoin, right? So that's the reason why Bitcoin will go. 200,000 is just the beginning. The peak of this cycle, 2025, 200,000 is certainly possible. But that's only 2 years away. What about the next cycle? Next cycle is only 4 years away. We're talking about another 6 years. If Bitcoin hit 200,000 in 2025, what is it going to hit in 4 more years in 2029? Right? $1 million, a 5x would make it $1 million. Is that unreasonable? No. Because every single time we go up about that, if not more, right? And talking about the scarcity factor, there's less than 1.5 million left, right? I just made a big deal about 100% certainty. We know there will be a cap, a limit, right? We're really close to that limit already. 93% of that limit is gone. It's been mined. So think about it. After this next halving event, only three Bitcoins will be released per block found every 10 minutes. After that, the next halving cycle will bring it back down to like 1.5, 1.6. And then after that, you're getting less than 1 Bitcoin being released per block, right? It is getting very, very, very scarce. Very scarce indeed, right? Because of the scarcity factor, because demand keeps going up. You know, that's why so many people, you think 200,000 is outrageous. What about this prediction? Kathy Wood believes by 2030, so this is the next halving, in the next cycle, Bitcoin can hit 1.5 million. So if you think 200,000 is outrageous, what about 1.5 million? And the reason, again, is due to the scarcity factor, because there's not enough Bitcoin to go around, right? Not every millionaire on the planet can even accumulate 1 Bitcoin. Think about that, and that doesn't include the billionaires. Even if every millionaire on the planet right now, today, said, I want to buy 1 Bitcoin, they couldn't do it. If they tried, they would drive Bitcoin's price up to probably over $1 million. If all of them, if every single one tried immediately right now. Because there's just not enough. Okay, so. Am I bullish on Bitcoin? I think you guys could tell I am very, very bullish on Bitcoin. Okay. Now, I'm not just bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on the entire space. And yesterday, you guys know. Okay. Yesterday, Ripple won a huge lawsuit once again. Well, basically, they didn't win it, but, you know, the judge shut down the SEC, right? Judge Torres basically denied a motion for appeal. So now the SEC is basically screwed. They can't really do anything against Ripple. I think they still have a lawsuit against Ripple, but what are they going to say when Ripple already proved itself that selling XRP is not considered selling securities because XRP itself is not a security? So what is the SEC going to do, right? Probably drop its case. Ripple today also got approval for their payment license in Singapore, which is great, right? But here's the thing. What does that mean? Well, that means SEC's lawsuit against Coinbase is probably in trouble because SEC has sued Coinbase and Binance because they basically claim that these exchanges just keep selling, you know, just the fact that they're selling and allowing buying and trading of tokens is illegal, and all tokens are considered securities, right? But because of the Ripple case, Coinbase is like, that's stupid. Coinbase filed a motion to dismiss. And you have this lawyer who's John Deaton. He's been making a lot of calls, and he's like, you know what? There's a 50-50 chance that the SEC can get its case dismissed because of the Ripple case. 50% chance. If that happens, wow. SEC's going to look absolutely like a joke. Gary Gensler might as well just turn in his resignation papers and go work for BlackRock, right? Because that would be a total embarrassment. And that would be fantastic for an entire crypto space, right? So you gotta applaud Ripple. As many haters as there are, and some will argue I'm one of them, but they withstood. They had enough in the bank to fight Gary and the SEC for 3 years, spending $200 million, right? And they got a positive verdict. And now, because of it, all these other big players that are being sued unlawfully, they have a shot of winning, a real shot of winning, right? So you gotta thank Brad and Chris Larson and everyone else at Ripple for making this happen. So I'm looking forward to that. And if that happens, we're going to see another price bump too, right? For sure. For sure. I don't know if this is going to be this year or next year. If there's a clear dismissal, it'll probably be this year. But if it's not, this will last probably another year or so. But right now, Coinbase is like, I don't care. We're going to continue to operate. I don't care what you guys are claiming, right? They haven't delisted or done anything. Other exchanges have bowed down to Gary ahead of time, but not Coinbase. So that's awesome. All right, what else is there? Let's see. FTX news. So this may be good. So Amazon, Google or Amazon, right, invested in this new AI project called Anthropic. And the thing is, FTX actually invested in this company first because of the new evaluation from the new investments coming in. That portion that FTX holds or owns is enormous. So enormous, it could pay out all the creditors if they sold it. So inadvertently, SBF made a good investment, one that can actually save all the creditors. So everyone could be getting all their money back, and FTX might reopen again. The second part, I'm not so sure is a good thing, but okay. Okay, so, SBF made some good moves, I guess. Besides bribing, hundreds of politicians with campaign donations and the hundreds of millions he spent on real estate for his parents and friends and his $40 million orgy penthouse in the Bahamas. Besides those things, maybe he made a good investment with this one. We'll see. And then lastly, I saw Chainlink news. Chainlink supply hits a 15-month low. It's not just Chainlink. Ethereum, Bitcoin, a lot of these major crypto, you see their exchange supply hitting very, very, very low levels. And what does that mean? It's good. That means supply has diminished. And once demand comes back up, right, that's when you're going to get that price appreciation. So good for Chainlink. There's a lot of things happening with Chainlink. Actually, Josh on CRU Plus just created a video about Chainlink and tokenization. It is outstanding because their new CCIP protocol, which is like their layer 2 interoperability protocol, right? All awesome. And now Chainlink also launched an Arbitrum. Okay, Chainlink is so necessary in this space. The biggest Oracle network in this space, decentralized Oracle network, right? And now they allow many other functions to happen because they're CCIP layer, right? Essentially, they're just like the ultimate bridge, I guess, for information to travel through, right? So good for Chainlink. A lot of Link Marines out there. All right. That's what I want to talk about today. Overall, Bitcoin gaining a little strength, 27.5, right? Better than yesterday. Let's see. U.S. market is, well, NASDAQ is up. But people are concerned about this for sure. And this. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see. Let me scroll up, see if I missed anything. Good turnout today. Welcome, everyone. Sheldon asked, 9 billion student loan forgiveness. What's the catch? The catch is there's going to be more debt, you know. But I guess 9 billion is nothing compared to the trillions that we already have and trillion more that we will accrue, I guess. Crypto Frank finally caught a live stream. Welcome. Let's see. How much did my degree cost? Oh, it was a lot, but it's probably nothing compared to now. I attended Purdue. I was out of state. So, and I attended for 5 years. It was roughly like 20,000 a year at the time. So like 100,000. Took me a while. Took me a while to pay it off, but I did. But I know like these days, I don't know what Purdue is charging, or any of the Big Ten is charging these days. Probably 25, 30,000, if not more. George for House Speaker. No, thanks. I don't want any. I don't want any position where I have to like make real serious choices that affect real people's like daily lives. Especially like the presidency or Powell's position. Like I can't imagine the pressure they're on. I mean, they have, nonstop, 24/7. Like I can't do that. I don't want that. Speedy. Have you had an orgy before, George? No, can't say I had. All right. Can't go wrong with Chainlink. That is correct. Do ETFs need to physically hold a certain amount of Bitcoin? Yes. For spot ETFs. Futures-based ETF, no. Spot ETFs, I don't know the overall ratio and percentage. The reason why they need to hold it is because you could actually, well, no, I'm thinking about options, but like for ETFs, the spot ETFs, there's some certain kind of ratio where the number of shares they offer and how much those shares are valued at, right? There has to be some kind of ratio in terms of how much of the underlying thing, they must hold, which in this case is Bitcoin. I don't know the ratio. You have to ask some fund manager. Yeah, Chief, I'm not going to say what year, but yeah, you could kind of guess. But, when I attended Purdue, the only thing that we could do was hang out on Chauncey Hill, and it was just like a strip of like a few, bars. There was nothing else. Absolutely nothing else, surrounded by forest. And then you go to the local city, which was Lafayette. Nothing there. I think there was like one Best Buy, right? It was the boringest college town ever. Recently, I stopped by on a road trip. My God, like the college students today, I don't know how they can concentrate on studying. Purdue is filled with every single restaurant and store like you can imagine. And then you go into the city, there's even more. Like it is so developed within the last 20 years. Like, besides just high tuition and everything else, I don't know how students can afford to like not first of all afford to be there and not be distracted by everything that you can do and spend on. Like it's crazy how things have developed within the last 20 years. And I'm sure every college town is like that. But Purdue was like middle of cornfields. Like it was really boring. And now they got everything. You got movie theaters. You got endless bars and restaurants. You got really nice restaurants too. And everything else that's there. It's crazy. Starbucks, like every corner. Like we didn't have Starbucks when I attended Purdue. Not one Starbucks. I had to buy coffee in their coffee shop. And that was when I started forcing myself to drink coffee because, I couldn't wake up at like 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I'm not a billionaire. Man versus machine. I have no ambitions to be a billionaire. Did you know that every astronaut ever attended Purdue? I don't know why. Purdue's like every single astronaut that NASA have attended Purdue. That's an interesting fact. I don't know if that's still the case, but before it was like that was the thing. You had to go to Purdue if you want to be an astronaut. Do I have any hopes for Harmony 1? No. Zero. The more I hear about Harmony from the insiders, the more negative I am on them. No, I didn't have class at 6 a.m. I had class at like 7 a.m., but I had to get up at like 6 and walk across the campus, and it was like 20 degrees out. So that was not a good time. So I couldn't stay awake. So that was when actually I started drinking coffee, right? Unlike kids today that have a Starbucks in their high school. My old high school now has a freaking Starbucks inside. And if you look at some of these other high schools, they have like Subway and like, Jimmy John's and Starbucks built into their high school now. What is going on? Like I don't get why we need to spoil the youth so much. Let's put a little, let's give them a little hardship, right? Let them grow into adults before forcing upon, all this to them, I guess, right? Was there a lot of hot women at Purdue? I don't know. I guess. Not as much as like say down in Florida because it's hot weather all the time. Purdue is like, you get winters, everyone's wearing jeans and sweatpants. I like CRU better when it felt smaller and from his home office. I'm in a room in my basement, right? I'm not in a studio. So I don't know what you're talking about, Zach. It's not like I have a crew of 30 behind me like some of the other channels. I'm by myself in my basement streaming in front of 3 monitors and 2 cameras. That's it. So, not sure what you're talking about. What's the market at? It's about the same. Kind of mixed. Kind of mixed today. When you're in a previous office, your dogs always come in and kind of cute. Yes and no, and annoying. And the light would be annoying because the sun would be in my face. And sometimes it caused weird shadows. And rain would cause problems. Yeah, I need to be isolated. My new office, my new studio in my new house will be similar to this, but better. A little bit bigger. I'll have more things. But still, it's just me. Brent, I agree. Joshua Jake has been absolutely killing it. I'm still waiting for Blockchain Boy to put his first video. He did put a video on his channel, which is really good. No surprise about ICP, but he says he's working on something, so I'm hoping that he does submit something soon. And I told you guys last night, Crypto Jeb has agreed to come on and produce videos, and it's going to be a really interesting series that no one else is doing. I gave him this idea. And he loves it. So hopefully I can get him to start producing videos in a couple of weeks. And this is all on CRU Plus. In case you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, CryptosRus Plus. And I'm going to try to invite more hosts as well, as long as they're good ones. Not just adding hosts for the sake of adding hosts. But the link is in the description. You could also find it on the main page. But yeah, his videos are spectacular, I gotta say. We had Taco Bell and pizza in my high school, and that was late 90s. I don't know where you attended. I don't know when you attended. Where you attended, because that doesn't make sense. Mike, when are you coming on Ben's show? First of all, I never got an invite. Second of all, Ben has not responded back to my text yesterday, so I think he wants to be left alone. So yeah. If he asks and he wants me on, I'll go on. I'll support him. But yeah, I think he's trying to figure out stuff. This channel has changed. Cleaners are no longer making noise in the background. That's another thing too, because I had housekeepers that kept, vacuuming while I was streaming, and that was annoying, very annoying. You guys are like all reminiscent, like you haven't been here for like 2 years or 3 years. I've been down here for like 2 years now. It's been a while. Mike, you don't have to. It's not a big deal. Okay, if it happens, it happens. Don't try to force it. He has a lot of stuff going on, right? I don't want to disrupt it. You know, whatever. Whatever. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Midwest win. I appreciate that. I do. Bro, you have no worries. Even if you lose in crypto, you get money from YouTube. Yeah, that's true. But that's with anyone. That's like saying, no worries, bro. You could lose your crypto, but you still make money from your job. I mean, thanks for stating the obvious. Yes, of course. I have income, but YouTube income these days, very, very low. Very, very low. You know, a lot of these networking parties that I have, I invite other influencers, and they're like, I can't afford to go. You know, YouTube ad revenue has dropped more than half this year alone, and it's probably down a quarter of what it used to be in 2021. And obviously, you know, with that, you're not making as much as you think. So, and I know for sure because my channel is one of the bigger ones. So the smaller ones, they're making nothing. So don't think that it's that easy. And it's not that easy to keep a successful channel going, especially when it comes to crypto, especially during the bad times, right? But my message has never wavered. And, you know, people continue watching because they know what I'm about, right? Because I truly believe in what I'm saying. Some of the others may not, and that's the difference. New member, Conan Laverty. Welcome. Well, think about it. YouTube ad revenue, of course, it will go down. Advertisers are not paying as much. There's less advertisers putting out ads on YouTube, and the ones that are doing that are putting less money. So, of course, if there's less advertisers, less money, then the ad revenue goes down too, right? That makes sense, especially now, not just with crypto, with everything, because of the economy and everything. I study networking. Or you go build your X account. Creators make a decent amount. I mean, you know, yes and no. But it's all fake engagement right now on Twitter. Half of the engagement are bots. You could tell. They're just bots. It seems to be more bots now than before. Second is all the people that are trying to, you know, build their X account, as you say, they're all just putting like random fake posts for engagement. They're just engagement farming. They're not even relevant. Now, not everyone's like that. A lot of people post up good breaking news and good infographics or good chat. That's why I use Twitter on my, you know, I use a lot of Twitter on my streams like this. John Dean, this is a good informative post, right? But most do not do this. Most just put out, oh, you know, what's your favorite altcoin? What's your favorite crypto? Solana army, let's go. You know, like they're just engagement farming. They add no value at all. So yeah, I guess I don't have the capacity to do that, I guess. Maybe I should just hire someone to do that for me. Then I could grow to 1 million subs on Twitter too. Tyler and Gaming, when I get paid from YouTube, it's like once every 45 months. That's not right unless you're making so small. You're making under $100 because you get paid every month. I didn't know this sort of issue because I rarely get views and get paid anyways. That's probably right. Yeah, because your channel must be very small. But that's okay. Keep at it. Keep growing it. Yako. Thank you. Thank you. Start a RAN channel. I do want to start one. The other day I said, hey, I want to start a George Unfiltered channel, right? Where I just talk about whatever that's on my mind. Give my honest opinion about things. But then people are like, that's a bad idea because you'll cause controversy. You'll get haters and trolls. And then, you know, it might take away from your main channel, which is true. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. But yeah, you know, there's a lot that I like to call out, but I'm trying to stay neutral and friendly. But, you know, as for engagement farming, you guys know who I'm talking about. There's so many guys out there that just does nothing but engagement farming to try to get 1 billion views on their posts. I can't stand that. All right. I guess I'll let you guys go. As fun as this has been, it's actually fun to rant about things. You know, it'll be more fun if I had like a co-host to rant it with. Because, like, you know, I'm just ranting in front of a camera right now. And I have to wait for your reactions. And there's a delay. If there was actually someone to interact with, I think that would be a little more fun. Anyways, overall, we got some bad economic news once again. More fear. U.S. markets are in extreme fear already. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Because Bitcoin is the way. Bitcoin is going to continue to do its thing. Hit to 200,000 by the end of 2025. And 1.5 million by end of 2030. Right? So, smash it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.